Hello and welcome to the Voice of Mongolia's interview of the week. This week we have Batishik, founder of Nomiin Ger Mongolian Language School. So thank you for coming on our show, Batishik.
Thank you for having me for your radio show.
And can you please introduce yourself and your Nomiin Ger Mongolian Language School to our audience?
My name is Hishke, and people call me Hishke, and I'm a Mongolian language teacher. And I have been teaching Mongolian language almost 9 years now. And I'm also the founder at the Nomiin Ger Mongolian Language School. And I started in 2016. It's been over 2 years now.
Okay. So what courses do you offer to your students?
We have different types of courses. Where there's the 3 days course or the week course in 2 weeks, and also 3 months and 1 year. It's depending on the student's interest and then available the time in Mongolia. And for example, as a tourist, the people come to Mongolia and then take the 1 week course and before head into the countryside.
So the shortest ones are called the survival Mongolian courses, the 3-day or 1 week, the intensive courses. What do the students cover when learning those short period of studying?
Yeah, they're called survival course. That course is more designed for learn the basic, the conversation in Mongolian that you need when you meet the Mongolian people. Like for example, if you need to go to some place, you take a taxi, and also shopping, or introducing yourself, and talking about your family, and also like when you go to a restaurant, you need to order some food. Those kind of basic stuff is covered in survival course, and which would be that 5 days or 10 days course.
And now let's first talk about the characteristics of Mongolian language. So would you describe it as difficult language to learn as a second language?
Yes, I would say yes, because
why?
And when you Google up and the top maybe 20 language too difficult to learn, and you would come across Mongolian, and that tells you something. And what makes the Mongolian language difficult to learn is the first thing is pronunciation, because the Mongolian language has that really like unique sounds that you use back of your throat. There's like sounds like and then and then instead of like, and also the sounds makes it difficult. And also like when it comes to masculine, the vowel and then feminine vowel, and it's different. For example, with the masculine and he with the feminine. So
different.
It's very different. And then the versus English, do you use your lips
and tongues more?
Yeah, and you use it more. And but in Mongolian, it's all about tongue inside your mouth, and which is the most of the people found it's really difficult to get it. And also, as well as for English speakers, the sentence structures makes it difficult because they tend to say the verb after the subject, but which Mongolian it goes at the end. So those kind of. But grammar is relatively easy, but the pronunciation makes it really difficult.
So to make this relatively difficult learning process easier, what do you do, and how do you teach the students in a more engaging way?
We at the classroom, or even it's online, the class, we use the flashcards a lot. That way people could easy to memorize the words and the sentences. And also we explain the grammars in English, so comparing the English, and as well as that we do lots of focus on the more like speaking of we prepare lots of listening exercises for our students. We use the online flashcards with the listening, and as well as the listening, the recordings and texts that the students can listen over and over again. Also, we want the different types of voices, because people tend to just get used to teachers' accent and voice, and then when they go out and then talk to the random people, they don't understand because Mongolians really like mumble, and then it's hard to like understand sometimes for the normal people. So we prepare for our students for those the struggles and situations.
So, sorry. So about so about the online courses. So you, how long have you been running those online courses, and what platform do you use?
We since 2016 we started also like the in-person, like we have the courses in our facility, and also we have the office and home tutoring, and as well as we have online courses, specifically Skype courses. And for the people who is not in Mongolia, who is outside Mongolia but still wants to learn some Mongolian and improve their Mongolian. So now we have more than like 10 students now online. We do the once or twice a week through the Skype, and then the rest of the week we provide the lesson materials that students can work on it.
So the lesson materials, the flashcards are the ones that have pictures on one side, and or like pictures or the verb that the person don't know, and the meaning of it on the other side. So, and also the other learning materials, did you prepare all the materials by yourself?
Yeah,
your teachers?
Yeah, we use different books, as well as we also develop our own books and all the programs, because most of the classes happen to like individual classes because of the students' time difference, and also the students' level of the language difference. So we tend to like tailor the lesson, and most of the classes are customized classes. So we create our own lots of materials for in different levels and different interests and then the needs.
So if someone wants to like learn more academic language, then you'll tailor the specific course. And you said that you teach Mongolian language and culture. So how important for learners, for foreign people who wants to learn Mongolian, to know about Mongolian culture?
One of the reasons people learn the Mongolian language is either way they live here in Mongolia, or they somehow work with Mongolians, or there's somebody who has Mongolian spouse, and for the different reasons. And so they want to learn the language because they want to communicate with the person, and also they want to understand the culture. So, and the language and culture that is always connected. So that's why we, except for the providing the language lesson, we also help the students to understand the Mongolian culture, why the Mongolians do the things in certain ways. So, and apart from the classroom, like classroom culture lessons, we also like have every year we have culture trip and the countryside, and we bring our students to the nomad family and do the nomadic activities. So this Saturday, September 29th, we are having the culture trip to countryside. We're going to set up the gear, and then our students are going to set up the gear. They're making horchog, traditional barbecue, and also we're going to make we call it the shuminger, which is like the vodka from the milk. So which would be really interesting for the students. And then the way we're doing this, and then the students would understand more about the people's like everyday life in Mongolia, and they can understand why people
are like the way we are.
Yeah.
So Yeah, even like we're living in this city, like lots of our traditional background have got like major influence on how we do things like differently. So, or like the traffic jam, it's kind of like sometimes it gets a lot heavy because or we kind of like don't drive like the other people. So we do like things in the Mongolian way, and and the culture trip, is it like your third culture trip? Because I have seen the spring one, and also or is it like the second one?
Yeah, it's the third one, and then
third one.
we also last month we also organized the in-country orientation for Fulbright English teaching assistants who came to Mongolia and teach English for a year. We organized this trip, including that it will be like our third the culture trip, and then this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So
and then when people go to countryside and they see the nomadic life, and then they would, in the way they would understand the why Mongolians, like for example, it's like tend to be like relaxed and then not like
not that punctual,
not that punctual, you know. So and then it's because it's a Western society, and it's very different from our here and the culture here. So it's crucial to understand the culture that where you live in. So and then the way you will be not frustrated, and then and then also as a teacher we help them to get out of the like help them to understand the culture and get out of the culture shock. So that's also our main goal for our students, that besides the teaching.
Yeah. So can you name one of the like common struggles that is a result of the culture shock?
And yeah, that's an interesting question. And we mentioned that the punctuality is a big thing for the difficulty for foreigners who work in Mongolia, especially the office working environment, and as well as the also like the privacy. And then the Mongolians are very people oriented and family oriented people. We always tend to be together all the time, and then also like there is no such thing as a privacy for us, but for Westerners they tend to have
they knock on the door and they don't stand like too near.
Like the Mongolians stands too close, and then which is different for Westerners. So those kind of subtle, like different, but it still can influence the someone's the life in here. So and then we help them to understand all those things.
So apart from that cultural difference, there is like also lots of linguistic difference. We've talked about this, and so to learn the Mongolian language, what skills of your students do you need to do you focus on improving the first?
Since the people who are coming to Mongolia and staying then taking the language course is the main reason is to learn the language because they want to communicate with the people and understand the culture. So, and the main goal is focus on the speaking and then listening skill. And of course we explain the grammar, we teach the grammars, but we more based on the speaking. We want to develop the speaking skill and more in a practical way, because teaching Mongolian language to Mongolians is very different than teaching Mongolian language to non-Mongolian speakers. So we focus on more practical language that you could use every day. So that's the main point.
So when you were majoring in Mongolian language, you majored in Mongolian language and teaching, am I right?
Yes.
So, but that is for like teaching Mongolian language to Mongolians. But now you are teaching it to foreigners, and also at your school you have other three teachers. So how did you what did you focus on when selecting those teachers, and what do you try to make them to teach the teachers, to train the teachers to be to teach the language to the other foreign students?
Yeah, and then the first thing is, of course, you have to be majored in Mongolian language, somebody who knows about Mongolian academically, even though you're teaching the practical language. And also, and since it's very different, and we need to train the teachers first. We need to train how to teach the language as the non-Mongolian speakers, and which takes over a year, and after a year you can be a really good teacher. So, and we train the teacher first, and then also apart from the training the teacher as a professional level, and as well as we train the teacher to the understanding about the different culture and different perspective, and we prepare for the teacher of those kind of, and then make sure we wanted to provide the good the quality, and teacher has to understand that, you know, the being punctual and committed what they're doing, which is a very small thing, but it's very crucial to our job. So we want to to provide the service that the other people, the Westerns, you know, that there is standard. So we're aiming to that.
So very interesting. To be a good teacher, you need to understand your students, who are from different
different perspective. You know, that way you can understand. So, and you can help them. Then, why is it the different? And then how can you help with that? So,
so when I was visiting your website, I saw lots of positive feedbacks from the students. So the quality of your teachers and your program must be the reasons of behind the success, and being the successful and getting popular, even after just 2 years of active years. So you have been getting popular and getting known to the other big organizations that are international organizations. So those workers also take our courses. Am I right? So yeah.
Yes. And we have the people from the different organizations, and in Mongolia, we teach the British Embassy, the people from the British Embassy, and Oyu Tolgoi, and as well as the Peace Corps and Fulbrights, and different. We are providing the lessons from different types of organizations, and also the people and from the outside Mongolia.
So yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, I'm really proud of your school and your work, and we've covered lots of things in the past 20 minutes or so. And do you want to share, if you want to share and the things that we haven't talked, then you can share those to our audience now.
Thank you. And as a Mongolian, and I'm really proud, happy that we are teaching our language to to different people, and our goal is to provide the lessons that not only Mongolia, and as well as the other country and outside Mongolia, and every corner of in the world who has the internet, and being able to we will be able to reach out those people and provide our service, and that's the goal.
So thank you. And for our audience, if you are from a different country and live in Mongolia and want to learn Mongolia, or if you want to learn Mongolian, and you have the online services. Yeah. So visit mongolianlanguage.mn for further information about the school. So thank you for watching. This was this week's interview of the Voice of Mongolia Radio. Bye.